Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel and I am super excited to be back here on Therm O Web's YouTube channel. Today I have a video to share a way to make some DIY fabric and foiled embellishments. So I have a needle threaded with some metallic gold thread. You can use any color you want. And I have a piece of fabric here that I cut a strip. It's about 1.5 inches thick, and I'm just doing a straight stitch here, and you can see the stitches are large and there's large spaces in between them, so it is pretty quick to just finish this up here. I am going to cut it down to about 6 inches long because I am working on a card today and I don't want my embellishment to be that big, so I am just going to finish stitching this and then I will show you how I turn it into a rosette. You may remember this technique from a long time ago. People used to make these for scrapbook pages, and you could definitely do that as well as home decor or banners for decoration. These are really, really easy to do, and when we add the foiling, it adds a really special shiny touch to that. So I'm just continuing going with my straight stitch. Once I get to the end of the fabric there, I am going to pull the stitches tight. So that's why we made them loose and far apart, so that then I have room to pull the string tight, and that really closes up that rosette there. Now, if I had left a long string on the beginning end, I could have just knotted those together. I did not. I forgot about that part. So instead, I am just going to stitch the two edges together. So if you remember, leave a nice long string hanging on the front edge, and then you'll be able to just tie them tight. I am just going to do a couple of quick little stitches here, just some straight stitches to attach the end and the beginning together so that we have a closed rosette. Once that's done, look at how cute it is. I love this little fabric. I just picked it up at Joann's. So now I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to cut the strings that I have hanging there. And since I made my needle with a double thread, I can now pull apart those strings and double knot them to really make sure this stays together there. I don't want to pull too tight because I have broken this thread before by pulling too hard on it. So definitely go easy, but double knot so that you can make sure that this stays in one piece. Super, super simple, right? To create that, and then just cut those excess tails there. So now that that's done, I am ready to create my flower center, which I'm going to use Deco Foil double-sided foam adhesive. I cut out in a small circle there, and I'm just going to peel off the back protective layer and put it on my flower, and then peel off the top protective layer, and I'm ready to foil it. Once that foam adhesive is exposed, I can take any of the foil transfer sheets, I like gold for this one, and lay it down with the color side facing up, facing me. And once I rub that with my finger, I can then peel off the foil, and it has transferred to that foam adhesive to create our little foiled flower center there. If you miss any spots, just take a piece of the foil that has not been used yet and go over top. Okay, now I'm going to complete the rest of my card. I have a piece of pattern paper from Waffle Flower Crafts and my Memory Runner XL from Therm O Web, and I'm going to use that. It's my favorite tape runner to use to adhere paper to paper. Especially, I'm going to adhere the pattern paper down to a 4¼ by 5½ inch piece of black cardstock, and I'm going to cut that pattern paper just a little bit on the sides so that I have a little bit of that black on both sides as a mat. Now I'm going to use some Ultra Bond adhesive. Again, this is my favorite liquid adhesive, especially when you're going two different types of mediums together. So for example, this is a great adhesive to adhere that fabric flower down to the paper. But I'm also going to use it to adhere my my hug sentiment. I'm going to use that because when I die cut the foam to make the hugs sentiment foiled, I first put the foam on cardstock, just a really thin cardstock. And the reason I did that is because the foam by itself with really thin places like in the hugs die there, it can get out of shape when you're trying to pull it out of the die and put it onto paper. So I decided to put it on some thin cardstock first and then foil the top, just like we did the flower center there. Just put the foil right on top and rubbed it until it transferred to the foam adhesive. Okay, now I'm going to use the Ultra Bond to adhere the flower to my card. So I am going to use about a circle of it, not too much, but definitely enough that it's touching different places of that fabric to make sure that it really adheres down to the paper. And it does take a little time to dry. It's not too bad, but I did want to just hold it in place for a few seconds so that it starts to get tacky. Okay, now for the sub-sentiment, I'm going to have it hanging on the bottom part of the G. So I don't need foam adhesive on the right hand side, but I do need it on the left to keep that whole sentiment popped up. So I am using some Therm O Web Gina K Designs black foam tape, and I am just cutting the piece big enough so that it will hang under the left hand side of that sub-sentiment. And I'm going to leave the right hand side with nothing because it's just going to sit on top of the foam adhesive of the G. So once I peel off that top protective layer, I am just going to lay this right underneath that foiled hugs die, and I love the black and gold together. I think that is so fun. Just going to finish this off with a few enamel dots. These are from Waffle Flower. They are from the Stardust collection of enamel dots, and that will add a little bit of silver glitter in addition to the gold foil. I think it's so much fun. And that's it. Just really, really easy way to use some fabric and foil to create your own embellishments and really spice up a very simple card. Thank you so much for stopping by today. If you're interested in any of the supplies that I used, they will all be linked down in the YouTube description below. Have a wonderful day. See you again soon.